Welcome to the Key Chat, the exclusive interview series brought to you by Go Queen Magazine, the self-love conversation with queens. Here, we shine a spotlight on the incredible journeys of inspiring women.
She's a queen about a business, working hard on a mission, head high, purpose-driven, crown on, never tilted. Go Queen. Go Queen. Go Queen.
So thank you guys for joining another episode of the Key Chat. Today, my very special guest is Miss Challedon Saltor, and Challedon is in a lot of new shows right now. That's some of your favorites on Starz, BMF, Power Book 4. So we're just going to chop it up. I just want to talk to her about her inspirations, her acting journey, and of course, our favorite topic, self-love. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. I'm doing really well. Very blessed, and thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
No, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. So I wanted to start off by talking about your roots, your early beginnings. I looked through research that you were born in Baltimore. You're a Baltimore native. So I just wanted to ask you some things about what gave you the inspiration, what put that acting bug in you, and how was that journey in your early childhood? Did you always have an interest in acting?
It kind of started early. I was 4 years old, and my mother, she wanted to just enroll me into extracurricular activities during the summer. So it's a theater in Baltimore called Arena Players. So, she's just thinking like, okay, I'll put her in the summer program, give her something to do. Little did she know that I would fall in love with acting. So that's how it happened. I went to Arena Players from 4 to 13. And after that, I said, you know what? I just got bit by the acting bug and I just loved it. I was in school plays and everything. So from that point on, when I finished school, I said, you know what? I really would like to pursue this as a career. Like, this is what I really want to do. And I'd like to do television and film. So I relocated to Atlanta and it kind of went from there.
Awesome. So I know like Atlanta seems like it's the mecca for acting and things like that. Is that like the best place to go? Would you suggest that for people? Because I know like a lot of people right now are migrating to Atlanta who want to get into film and movies and things like that.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a good place to go. I wouldn't say always the best or any place is the best. I think whatever fits your life, you still have to live life, while pursuing your dreams. So of course, LA is, if that's a good option for you, that's always going to be, Hollywood, New York, Chicago. There are other places you can work as an actor, but I mean, Atlanta is definitely one of the top places now. Yeah. So if it fits your life, for sure, it's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. What were some of the acting giants that inspired you, if any? Were there any particular actors or actresses that you looked up to?
Definitely. I look up to Angela Bassett, Miss Angela Bassett. I love her. Yeah.
Are
Love
there
Miss Angela.
Do you have like a wish list of people who you would love to work with now? Because like I said, you're on some great projects, which of course we'll talk about. Are there any people that right now, like you have like a wish list that you like to collaborate with or act with or be directed by?
Um, as far as actors, not necessarily. The list would be very long. I always enjoy working with other actors, even if it's an actor that I'm not that familiar with. You'd be surprised when you get on set just collabing with somebody and how you can make a scene really a scene with a good actor. So they don't have to be a named person. I just enjoy playing with other actors that are passionate about what they do and that enjoy the work. So not necessarily a wish list per se. Just creatives in general. Yeah.
Do you have any aspirations also to work behind the scenes? Do you like writing, directing, and producing things like that as well?
Absolutely. Producer for sure. I'm a producer at heart. Yeah. Not just the actor. I'm too creative. Like, yeah, I have so many ideas. Writing and producing for sure.
Awesome. So I want to talk to you about your current roles that you've had on some of these stars programs. Can you tell us about how you got linked up on? I know there's a list: BMF, P Valley, Power Book 4 Forest. How did you get on these shows, and what were some of your experiences like?
The BMF, which will air next year. And Power Book Force. I was on that show last season, season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you said, what is the journey like to get there?
Yeah, and were there any particular experiences, any memorable moments that will always stand out for you?
Um, I would say, well, I can't speak too much on the new season of BMF. So, I mean, I would like to share that, but because it's not
Right.
out yet, I can't really talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely got to work with some people that I've wanted to work with,
Mm-hmm.
and really good experience. So, but Power Book Force, I'm a big Power fan. So to become a part of, a show that you've watched for a while and been a fan of, it's a really good experience. It's very surreal when it happens. It's like, okay, this is a show I actually really like, and here I am, and I'm on this show. So it's definitely a surreal moment when things like that happen. So
I can imagine. When you're
mhm.
since you started acting, I know you said like you got the bug when you were a young child and up to now. Have there been any challenges that you faced that you had to overcome just being in this career?
Yes, definitely. There are times that you have to, because you still have to remember that you're a person and you should still have a life. I really truly believe that makes you a stronger actor, a more relatable actor when you live life. So, sometimes in life we have things that happen that aren't the things that we want to happen. So I've had life happen, where I've had to take a step back from acting and I've had to do life. And sometimes you don't understand that. You're like, well, I have these dreams and something I'm trying to do, and now I'm having this life obstacle. But that's when you can apply it to your art. And that's where it shows up in your art. It's like, this really happened to me, or I know what that feels like. So I'm able to help that to resonate on screen. So yeah, I've definitely had life challenges. Of course, with this, you're going to hear no's. It's a lot of, you don't have to look at it as rejection, but it's the next opportunity. A no is the next opportunity. When it's quiet, it's another opportunity. It will always happen. The opportunities don't stop. They can slow down. Sometimes you're very busy. Like as of lately, this whole year, I've been busy. And I'm like really happy about that because this is what I wanted. So, but yeah, definitely life. You have ups and downs in your career, but just knowing how to balance is good. You have to take care, like you said, self-love. You have to make sure to take care of yourself, tap in with your mental health, physical health, because that helps your mental health, you know. So
Definitely physical health, mental health, it all ties in together. And I like what you mentioned about the no's because I think that's an important thing and that can make or break someone on how they handle those no's because some people they'll take a no and like you said they'll take it as a rejection, they'll take it as like they'll just never make it no matter what they're pursuing, they just can't handle a no. But no's are also our form of protection and no is just a part of the journey, whatever it is you're pursuing. It doesn't even, not even if you're not, it's not even for creatives, no matter what you're pursuing in life, those no's are just steering you into the right direction. What words of encouragement do you have for people who, no matter what they're doing, even if they're trying to be an actor or actress or even not, sometimes people, I think the no's are what halts them when they have so much potential and they should keep going. Sometimes people can't process that they should keep going. So, what words of encouragement would you have for someone that kind of can't really comprehend the value and the no?
it is challenging, and I know we always hear, oh, if you don't give up. I mean, it sounds so cliche, but it really is the truth. If you give up, nothing will happen. If you don't give up, something will happen. So that's the best advice. If you keep doing something, something is going to happen. If you stop, nothing will happen.
Mm,
So you kind of got to look at it that way.
right.
Yeah. Now, how long it takes, that part, just stay patient and pray, because it can take a really long time. But when it happens quick. Everything just happens quick and it happens in an abundance. There's a lot of it too. So pray that you are able to handle that and that you're not overwhelmed and that it's not too much for you. Because sometimes we ask for stuff, but we don't know what to do when we get it. Pray that you can hold on to it. Just pray that you're mentally strong enough to push through and to be able to handle it and whatever comes with it, because it's going to come with things that you love. It's always the good and the bad, so pray that you can handle all of that.
Right, definitely. There's always two sides of the coin, no matter what. So I want to ask you as well, of course, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and you touched on some things too about the physical, mental health. What are some of the practices that you do to not only take care of your physical health, but also to have a healthy mental balance? Like you said, there's ups and downs. Sometimes there's no's. How do you balance taking care of yourself physically in addition to your mental health?
I definitely go to the gym at least 5 times a week, and I do find that when I'm in the gym consistently, that helps to clear my head. So it definitely helps with mental health. The gym, if you can do some kind of physical activity, even if it's walking outside, it's sunny, the weather's getting nice, get some vitamin D. That does help. Having good people around you, having good people that are solid and sincere, that really care about you, whether it be friends or family. And if you have some people around you that are not good, you gotta get rid of them. They gotta go. I don't care who it is, you know, they gotta go, because it's not good for your mental health. And when you're not in a good space mentally, then you can't show up right. You can't show up like you need to show up for whatever it is that you're trying to do. Whether you're in nursing school, you're in college, you're trying to be an actor, director, producer, whatever it is that you're wanting to do, like work, whether it's an entrepreneur, anything, like you just can't show up in the way that you need to fully, so that you can fulfill your purpose when you don't have the right people around you. So, yeah.
Right. Your circle means everything. When you're pursuing a dream, you're right. Your circle is everything for so many
Mhm.
different reasons. You want people around you that are genuinely rooting for you. And as you mentioned, if something is negative or if it's weighing you down, you have to get rid of them. And that's another thing that can hold people back sometimes too, because they don't want to let people go sometimes just for a variety of reasons. It's hard
Yeah.
for to let them go. But when you're trying to pursue a dream, if you're trying to do something that really means a lot to you,
Mhm.
you have to put that first. And self-preservation is actually not being selfish. It's doing what's right for you, and sometimes people can't really comprehend that too well. So I
Yep.
want to also ask you, of course, our platform, we love talking about self-love. Self-love really is the fuel that just drives us to have that confidence to pursue whatever it is that your heart's pursuing you to do. So I want to ask you, how do you define self-love and what role has it played in your life?
Self-love, a lot of times we can get it confused and say, oh, well, like you said, being selfish, but you have to put you first. Okay. You can't pour from an empty cup. Like you can't pour into others and love others the way that you need to or would like to if you're not putting yourself first. So you have to put yourself first, um, and find that balance. Like you don't want to be selfish, but you do have to put yourself first. And that sometimes comes with hard decisions that you might have to make, like we were discussing with letting things or people go. Um, and I find that when I've done that and honing in on that, it has played a part for me to see things change in my life by doing that. Things have changed in my life by knowing that I have to put myself first. What do I need? You need to ask yourself those questions. What do I need? What do I like to do? Some people, they don't even know how to enjoy their own company. I think that's important. Like, that's a part of self love. Like, really genuinely enjoying your own company before you invite others into your presence. I think that's definitely a part of self love. Fall in love with yourself, and the doors will open for everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Love that. You do have to, like you said, you have to love yourself. You have to fall in love with yourself. And it is true. It's unfortunate that some people really can't be alone. Like you said, some people can't even enjoy their own company. And
Mm-hmm.
if you can't love yourself first, you can't expect people to love you correctly because you don't even know what you should expect. You don't even know what you deserve. You don't even know what type of boundaries you should create. So there's value in learning yourself and loving yourself. It's imperative, because how can you pursue anything if you don't even know yourself. And it's not an overnight thing, obviously. It's a process. Every single day is a learning journey for each and every single one of us. But you have to embrace truly knowing yourself. Because if you don't know yourself, you really don't know what path you should even be on. You wouldn't really have a comprehension of who should be in your life, what you should do,
Right.
goals, like what boundaries to have, anything, like, because you don't even know yourself. So I love what you said, because it's so important to truly fall in love with yourself. So I want to also ask you too, because you're living your the dream, you're pursuing your purpose. Do you have any advice for some people who, again, I think right now sometimes people struggle with truly knowing their purpose, or how to find it, or even how to be consistent? And I think consistency too is something that some people may struggle with, because it's a combination of a lot of things. That the no's that they receive, sometimes they'll say, oh, well, you know what, this isn't working. So they'll give up being consistent on whatever it is they're trying to pursue. And again, that's another blockage that's stopping them for truly pursuing their purpose. So do you have any words maybe for people who they may be struggling with consistency, or just struggling with on how to stay on path to truly pursue their purpose?
um this world and this life can be something. So a lot of times we can get derailed or get off track, or we're not as consistent as we were last month or last year. But just get back on track. It's okay. It's okay. It happens to everybody, where we're not as focused, or we're not, like I said, as consistent as we were before. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back on track. It's okay to start over. That's the best advice. It's okay to start over, as long as you're doing it.
Mhm.
As long as you're doing it.
And I think that's another good point, as long as you're doing it. And I think that's every step is a step forward. So every accomplishment doesn't have to be a big, huge thing. Like, long as you're working towards something. And I think that's another thing to make note of, just to keep moving forward, basically. So I want to ask you as well, get back into the entertainment portion, because currently I know there's a lot of shows that are a lot of people's favorites. So I want to ask you, what are you watching? What is on your favorite playlist right now for television?
Well, BMF is definitely one of my favorites.
Mhm.
So that was definitely one of my favorites, still is, and got to be on that show. So that's exciting. What's another show that I'm watching? Because I've gotten better with watching TV as an actor. Strange. It's like you're an actor, but you don't watch TV. But after the pandemic, I say, you know what, I'm gonna get focused. I'm gonna start watching TV a little more. The Shy is a really good show. I
Mhm.
like The Shy. Um, what else did I really get into? There's some Netflix series. They're not really popular. It's one I saw the other day, and it was really good, and I forget the name of it. But I'll randomly watch something. I'm like, okay, what is this? Let me watch it. Never heard of it before, and I'm just like, okay, I'll check it out. And I love independent films. I've always been an independent film junkie. Like, I used to go into Blockbuster. I know that's like a throwback, but I used to go into Blockbuster, and I would not look for the known movies. I would go into the indie section. Mhm. So I love independent projects.
The indie section, of course, has those gems for sure. I just
Mhm.
recently binged the Miss Pat show this past weekend. I had never seen the show at all. I had just seen clips, and there was a
Okay.
particular clip that kept circulating on TikTok that I was like, let me finally watch it. And I binged like the entire 4 seasons in like 2 days. That's how good it was, because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a good blend, because obviously she's a comedian, but it's really deep, actually. Like, it's funny, but there's some points of like almost each episode that talks about trauma, generational curses. I was like, whoa, like I love the mix of it, so that's a show that I personally recommend, that I like. And is there a particular show, like, I think everyone has like maybe an old school show that hasn't been on in decades that they can just watch over and over? Do you have like any of those particular shows that if you're just having a moment, you just need to watch something funny that you're familiar with, that is one of your favorites?
Of course, I love Martin. Of course, I love Martin, Fresh Prince. I will watch reruns of Living Color.
Hmm.
That's definitely a good one. I don't know if you remember the show Amen.
Yeah. Hmm.
I like Amen. What else? Living Single. I mean, we had so many good shows. Um, Family Matters.
Yeah.
course, the Cosby's, Different World. Yeah.
What's
So
your and what's your take on Tubi? Because I know like some people they don't like Tubi, and I also saw something recently that was saying like Tubi is like the new blaxploitation. Me personally, I think it's. I mean, I guess I can get all arguments, but I think it's cool that there's a platform, air quote, for us because there's a lot of people that are making their independent movies, whether it's whatever quality people think it should be. I just still think that it's good that there's an avenue, there's a door opening. So, what's your take on the whole Tubi craze?
I mean, I'm grateful that Tubi is there because like you said, it's a platform for creatives to get their projects seen where that may have been more challenging for that to happen. I mean, and they also have other movies on there. They have older movies, older films. You might be like, oh, I want to see New Jack City. Well, let me go to Tubi. You know, you're able to now just access it very easily. And they have a ton of things on there. They have a lot of movies. Any genre, they have everything on there. I think it's fine, and I think that Tubi will grow. I really do. I think it's going to grow as a platform. I've seen it happen for Netflix. You know, they weren't the most popular like they are now. Peacock, I've seen it happen, and I think that Tubi will grow as well. So, I think it's
I also think that there's going to be even more networks to grow. I think Tubi is going to kind of set an example for other people to pursue their own networks. And I think the field is going to be wide open over the next 5 to 10 years. I think it's going to be tons of different things similar to Tubi. Like you mentioned, Peacock. I remember when Netflix was the CDs that you got in the mail. So, that's, aging me enough. But I remember, way back in the day. So it's so many different avenues. There's so much potential. For sure. Yep. So before we do end everything, this has been a great conversation. I just love how you mentioned just things about just not letting where you're at now, I feel like, deter you. Because some people, they want to just wake up one morning and have all the awards and everything. And it's like, it's a journey. You have to appreciate every step of the way. So I wanted to end everything to ask you, do you have any, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have any affirmations per se that can maybe just motivate someone to just embrace the journey where they're at?
I am enough. That's it. That's all. I am enough.
Love it. I love it. So before we end everything, tell everyone what can we expect next. I know you mentioned BMF, and I wish I could twist your arm and give us some what can we expect next from you?
Well, I am in a new show. It's going to be on the All Black Network. It's called Conspirators. The Conspirators. So that'll be out, I think, towards the end of the year on the All Black Network. So definitely check that out. I did a film called I'll Find You. And that will be out, I'm thinking maybe at the latest, the top of next year. So keep an eye out for those two projects. They'll be coming out before BMF and everything. So keep an eye out for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for this conversation and giving us your time. Before we end everything, tell everybody how they can find you, how they can locate you on social media. Give them all your information.
You can find me on Instagram at Miss Ask About Me. So that's MS Ask About Me. That's where you can locate me. So follow.
Awesome. So thank you again, guys. This is Miss Challedon Saltor. And remember, she's going to be on BMF next season. So make sure you look out for that. And also her projects on the All Black Network. And remember, we touched on some good points about just being consistent. And those no's, honestly, don't let those no's get you down. Those no's are going to motivate you. You're going to be able to sit back one day and recall that no and be like, look where I'm at now. So never let a no discourage you. Those no's are really... they're just pushing you in the correct direction. So don't ever be discouraged by a no, and always pursue your dreams no matter what. So thank you guys for joining another episode of the Key Chat. You can catch this episode and more, www.goqueen.com. Make sure you be safe and make sure you go love yourself.
She's a queen about a business, working hard on a mission.